So I've been a doodler for a long time, but I was like, you know, maybe I just buy some like cheap canvas. It's like a 4x4 canvas. And you can buy like a dozen of them for like $10. And I've just been doing this for a long time, and I just wanted to have some sort of a. I've been, I don't know. It's this whole idea of just creating and drawing and things like that. I'm not a good artist by any stretch of the imagination, but I always just wanted to like doodle and make things, and I've been wanting to paint and do stuff like that. So I was like, oh, well, I can just buy some of these canvas and these pins and try something like this out on a canvas. I've been doing this for a while on post-it notes, but I was like, canvas will be kind of cool, and they're not too terribly expensive at all. Like I said, it was a dozen for $10. And maybe I just want to start drawing something and see where it goes. I play guitar and I'm not any good at that. And I just see where it goes every time I play. So why would I be bothered with by having any sort of talent? It's never stopped me before. It's it's like my first day of vacation in December, and it's finally a cold-ish day here in Houston, and of course the dogs want to run in and out. So hold on a second, I gotta go close the door. My dog just ran in, and she thinks staring at traffic going down the street is the best thing ever. Isn't that right, Zell? So you want to go look at the traffic? Let's go look. It's a great way to occupy our time too. I can't be walking her all the time. I walk them twice a day, but you know, that's life. That's the way things go with a little pup like that. Both of them are like that. This morning, I don't know, lady was trying to get me to give her more treats. So anytime I give her anything resembling close to a treat, she loves it. So I just wanted to start. I always make it a point to say I don't ever have to justify my existence or justify anything I do on YouTube to anyone for a multitude of reasons, but especially it's not like I'm having to give in to an audience, or nobody watches this, but I can always just doodle, make something. Making things is better than not making things, and to sit around and go, I don't know if I should do that. Very rarely is that something that I think about. The only time I would question like doing stuff like this would be like if I had like to make I see people that are like characters online, and they always have to have like a costume, or like they're weird quirky saying or something like that, and that's just not me. If that's you, that's awesome. I don't care really, but I just know that that's just not something that I could do. I would rather just sit on here and doodle and make things and just feel like I created something that hasn't existed before. Maybe, I don't know. This is just, rather than sit and stare at a TV, which I have done for my entire life. I think I've gotten to a point where I'd rather be the one creating than to watch people create. I still love to watch TV. I still have, I'm gonna like, well, today, for example, I'm gonna bake a loaf of bread. My boss gave me some deer meat that her husband likes to hunt deer. My goodness, they're digging a hole at the end of this street, and there I've never seen this many dump trucks before in my life. And I wonder how much money do they have that they can afford an endless stream of dump trucks? 3 days in a row so far. So anyway, and that's the other thing. Instead of me just rambling to the camera, I could at least create something, even if it's just like a doodle like this that has no meaning beyond just me wanting to put pen to paper or canvas in this case. I don't know what this canvas is made. It's probably cotton, I would assume. Um, I'd rather do this than not. Then maybe this is the way I start doing my ramble videos about me just talking about my philosophy of how I'm going to handle X, Y, and Z, being creative online. Pete McKinnon, uh, one of the bigger YouTubers, I've seen a couple of his videos lately, and he's articulated my points way better than I did, and it kind of infuriates me. It's like I've been trying to talk about that, about being creative. It's better to be creative than to not be creative. It's better to put out a video than to not put out something. To create is the ultimate. There is no end to this, it's only means, if that makes any sense. I don't have like a anything other than me wanting to create. So I'm going to be making bread. Speaking of creation, I'm going to be making bread this afternoon, starting that process and getting it baked sometime tomorrow. Then I started to talk about it. I got distracted. My boss gave me deer sausage, so I have egg. I'm going to make a chorizo con huevo with it tomorrow. Have fresh bread with it. That was the reason I wasn't going to make bread, but then I was like, man, I got this sausage that she gave me. It's fresh. Um, it's patties. It's like ground sausage. She gave me regular sausage, like in a casing, like 4 or 5 years ago, and it was incredible. And I just made eggs with it and had breakfast for dinner. So I'm gonna do roughly the same thing. There's no. I start. I think a lot of this is an exercise in creation and not having, not worrying about where is it going, what is this for, why is it. Instead, just start doing something, and there's no point in worrying about, well, what's this or what's that going to do? Is this going to be pleasing to someone? Is this going to be something that people are going to want to watch? If I start worrying about what people are going to start wanting to watch, I would never make any videos ever again. And I think that's that's inexcusable, especially considering the ease that you have. I can just pick up my cell phone, pick up my iPhone, talk, turn the camera on, talk straight into it, and then however long that video is, and press upload and have something. That's way more valuable than me just sitting around not doing something. Creation is the joy of creation, really. I think I talked about that. Is way more satisfying than consumption in a lot of ways. Consumption is, of course, fun and a way of inspiration, but maybe just having this, nothing like this. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm a unique or credible artist or blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying to create is fun, interesting, and a lot of something like this, you never know where it's going to go. You don't know why you're going to do X, Y, or Z. And you don't really have to justify why either. It's just creation for creation's sake seems to be lost in a world where everything has to be monetized constantly. I have to constantly do things that will make me or other people or both money. And why ultimately? I mean, survival, of course, but is this really is making something to just make money, and then what is that for? Ultimately, what does that do? Is it good for you? Maybe. I don't see any point to it. I mean, don't get me wrong, if somebody were to come up to me with money, I would be hard pressed to not take it. But that's just never going to happen, especially like this. What I'm supposed to be doing is talking about how you need to create because you're leaving money on the table, and it's just, I don't know. Anybody who's worth anything that I admire just creates to create, and a lot of the ones that I watch are actually just really good at it. I'm not, obviously, but maybe creation is just innate in humans. I mean, look how many museums are filled with things for people who lived very long ago and didn't have a YouTube channel when a computer was magic at best. But I just wanted to create something. I also bought some paint. I need to start working on that. I need to start thinking about, I just want to do abstract stuff like this that has no real direction. I mean, I'm not trying to paint someone or something, but I mean, it's a, if anything, it ends up being like a meditation in a way, where you're just concentrating on one thing. You don't have to, you can do multiple things if you want to, but why? To just center yourself and focus on one thing, and then do something that you can feel like you've accomplished something, even if it's just something as small as filling in a little canvas. This is incredibly satisfying. It's 13 minutes. I didn't know how long it was going to last, so it's just fun to just create, and that should always be the theme for this channel.